Mesdemoiselles, messieurs, quoique tout le monde ne soit pas encore arrivé, on attend encore du public assez tard. Je commence quand même. Tant pis pour l'air retardataire. La prochaine fois, nous arriverons à l'heure.
Scale happening in your county. There's now clear evidence of NASA using numerous methods to grossly mislead the public about astronauts being on the International Space Station. During interior ISS scenes from NASA's own live feed, the use of wires, harnesses, green screens, and virtual reality have been detected to achieve the appearance of a weightless environment. Examples of this include astronauts fading in and out of the screen, green screen glitches, grabbing objects that aren't really there, pulling on invisible wires.
Yes, my people, ladies and gentlemen, gather around right now. I want the world to know hear me what me have to say. You see right now the kings, the souls, and the cats with a big thing. I'm fully loaded project, but come from all corners of the earth, but all kinds of blood clot news that we can put in it. It's like so smooth, you have all kind of on your visuals, feel on brain. You hear me?
During spacewalks, air bubbles have been recorded on numerous occasions. How is it possible for air bubbles to be present in the vacuum of space? I once questioned astronaut Scott Kelly about this phenomenon. His body language and answers only created more questions. In 2013, astronaut Luca Parmitano nearly drowned during a spacewalk when his helmet filled with water. This happened again this last year. Air bubbles, helmets filling with water, and drowning. Are they in space or are they underwater? Now what's really interesting is that they train for spacewalks in an underwater pool with a complete ISS replica. Surely they are filming spacewalks in an underwater pool and then editing them to appear in space. Because that sure would be something to admit. I'm calling on the Bombardee County Commissioners to open a full investigation into NASA's fraudulent practices and use of taxpayer dollars. It costs us $3 billion per year to operate the ISS, and if they don't have a darn good explanation as to why they're taking these videos, I and the public would like a darn good explanation as to where our tax money is going. And if they are indeed faking the fun, it is our duty to expose the fraudulent and astronomically wasteful ISS program. And look, I know what you're all thinking. NASA is part of the federal government, and you're just county commissioners. Even if what I'm saying is true, what can you do? But let me remind you, not only is this happening in your county as public officials, you have the platform and the ability to make a statement or hold a press conference alerting the public, state, and federal authorities to investigate further. You have the power to start the conversation. Video evidence of everything I described today will be emailed to you all, and I truly hope we can get to the bottom of this. I look forward to the day that a $3 billion annual budget is put towards our veterans, our homeless, maybe some of that mental health stuff the young lady just spoke about, and the revitalization of the bar.
Alors, notre spécialité, toujours d'après moi, ce serait d'être les spécialistes de la clarté dans la confusion.
So, this is the known world. It's a bit different from the vibes of Cosmos, but about 90% is the same. So this is the known world we live in. It's Africa with Europe and Asia and Lemuria. And then this is what they would call the ice wall, which is a bunch of lands which are frozen, or partly frozen, and also ice shelves. So when you see, for example, Atlantis here, and this is an ice shelf, which means like an ice wall. So it blocks from the sea, the water gets until this point, and then everything is ice here. And this is where the Germans are here. See here, see this symbol here, the Germans. So from South Africa, from the coast of Africa, you go in a straight line, and you have the Lazarev ice shelf. So again, these continents are here, but then there's an ice shelf, so only with a submarine or with an UFO. And this is Neuschwabenland, so New Swabia, with New Berlin and Germans, and then at the south of this island is the UFO bases of the Germans and the U-boats, so the submarines. So the electromagnetic induction, nothing to do with anti-gravity, proper military technology, and submarines. So it's very easy to go flying with UFO electromagnetic induction to levitation, super speed, or with the U-boats under the sea. So for them, the ice wall doesn't represent any problems. And then, of course, everything here is German, the ocean here. So Terra Vista is here. It seems that the Germans are on the other side of Terra Vista. Neuschwabenland is very protected. And Liberia. See here, Liberia or Liberia, also German. So they took over all these continents, very protected, behind the ice wall. This is where the whole like flat Earth classical map Christian type thing comes from. So they took this part of the map, and they just said, oh, we are a special human species created by God, and we are protected. Well, in a way, yes, we are limited, because, you know, if you want to go anywhere, you get to frozen continents, because as you know from the previous videos, this whole area here right now is in the ice age because of the electromagnetic sun. Black sun now comes to Hyperborea, Greenland, so only this part here is melted. But it doesn't mean that here they cannot have like proper technology, because with technology you can do anything. So they are in this area. Liberia is very interesting because Liberia comes from liberty, right? So the free land, German. And then here also you have Germans. So Asgard, Liberia and Asgard, and Germans as well. And then Terra Vista. And we don't know who lives in Terra Vista, if it's also Germans or something else, or like the other humanities. A huge amount of ice. Ice is by portions, because like for example here you go, Atlantis has this area frozen, but then this area closer to Africa is not frozen. And then here this is like North America and South America, and these lands here, which is like Terra Gallica and Terra del Fuego, means land of fire. It's a bunch of lands, but then there's also like ice shelves, so around ice shelves, so there's ice as well, as if like, you know, the ice is being kept there artificially so the water doesn't go out, because of course water is level and it's not curved. And then these places here, the first islands, are the touristic ships that go, and you're not allowed to go in a straight line, probably because it's super cold as well in this area, because the electromagnetic sun only reaches this area. Lemuria seems to be fine. This here is Hawaii, and Lemuria seems to be okay. And then this is where the Indians arrived, here in these lands. Again, I'm not sure. I don't know if who came first, if it's Vibes of Cosmos, the Greek, or this guy from Germany. But at least you can understand more things in the sense of what is the ice wall and where do you have to go in a straight line. And now this is very important with the straight line thing. So because people just laugh and yell and scream all the time because they don't study, they don't research. It's so simple as to go in a straight line. But as you know, the flights and the ships of this world where we live in, nobody goes in a straight line. So going in a straight line is forbidden. End of the story. And you just say, oh, let's go. Go, try it yourself. You're gonna be laughed at, you're gonna be turned away, even if you try, by the military and the army, because that's why we have an Antarctic Treaty. And even if you would manage to get on the other side, maybe you're gonna get killed by the weather, because it's super cold for a portion of the way until you reach the good weather. And what gives you, what makes you sure that these guys here, they're not gonna shoot at you, because you're not supposed to go there, right? So yeah, that's why it's important for people to believe that we are a special human species, enclosed and protected, and the dome and everything, because that gives people a certain feeling of, oh, I'm important, and I'm good and stuff. So it's okay. Like I always say, if a certain doctrine allows you to live a better life, because life is short anyway and we die in the end, then just believe whatever doctrine makes you happy, and then the story. My fascination is to try to understand the whole thing about going in a straight line, the oceans, the ice wall. The ice wall is not a perfect ice wall. I mean, it could be a perfect ice wall if all these continents that are not ice, because there's land, if they're frozen. But we don't know, because we're not allowed to go in a straight line. We do know that wherever you see ice shelf, like here, like the Fimbolisen ice shelf, which is between, well, it's actually between Atlantis, or behind Atlantis, between Coatesland and Terra Vista. But this is a part, well, this is part of Terra Vista, and this is part of Atlantis. So this is all ice here. So yeah, that's ice. Greenland is also ice. And again, because of the electromagnetism comes through there right now. So yeah, it's fascinating. The most fascinating bit is the extraterrestrials. So again, what does extraterrestrial mean? Extra land, because terrestrial, terra comes from land. So it's like extra land. So extraterrestrial, and of course extraterrestrials, so the Germans, they have their UFOs and their U-boat, submarines. What's so difficult to understand? I mean, it's just a superior humanity. Superior means that you have more technology, and technology is power. So if you would have technology, you would have the power to control and to dominate and to make the decisions, because ultimately the difference between, that's why we in the so-called mythology and stuff, we speak about magic and stuff, and the mages and the wizards. That's just technology. So you're a human who has technology, you have the power to make the rules and to make others obey you. It's also fascinating how now it makes sense because you know, when like the Americans, they go to Lemuria, so why would they go to Lemuria and not here? Well, because, you know, even if they would try to approach this area, they would be kicked by the UFOs and the U-boats. So the Germans then are not in this area, so that's why they're free to go in this area here. Now there must be a reason why the Germans are here since 1940 or 1930, because they went there before. It makes also sense that Neuschwabenland is protected behind the entrance, you see here, as if like all the entrances where water can freely flow between the two worlds are closed. So it means that either this is maintained artificially, or they're just using the benefits of the electromagnetic sun that now makes it only here to be ice age. But then if you have technology, like I said before, it's for you, it's okay, because you can have artificial suns and everything else. So yeah, I'm not saying that this is the ultimate, supreme, definitive, most important thing. I'm not saying that this is like this, but at least it gets closer to the reality of the real world more than anything else. And again, you put this and Vibes of Cosmos together, and the Antarctic map on Vibes of Cosmos with the basis of the different countries on the map. Because for example here you see Großbritannien, this is like the United Kingdom of Great Britain, and this is Argentina. So in this case he put like the stations of investigation of so-called Antarctica here, like militärische Sperrgebiet. So it's like, and also these are like UFOs, so you know, like the UFOs control the seas. So yeah, we don't know until what point the Germans have other like alliances with different countries that have different stations across everywhere, because in the end the Antarctic Treaty is this, right? The Antarctic Treaty is a political thing between all the superpowers, and superpowers also means the allies from the previous conflict, right? So yeah, at the end of the day we have no clue, but at least we have this. So I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video.
We'll be right back.